Making that nigga see daisies, he going crazy. That scary ass pussy could not even pay me. Nigga want smoke, so I gave him the day. With his block up, no, now nigga really want chase me. I wanna find me, they put it outside. When I pull up, little nigga, I'm really all might. I'm spinning my action, boy, I'm on the mic. These rappers like Titans, I give them a bite. Friday night fucking, we hit it all night. With that shawty on me, she left or right. I'm smoking too much and I'm high like a kite. He not really crazy, he taking your life. I'm not a TV, I don't want no stack. I've been smoking that dead house, I know that I'm packing it up like a nigga want action. You wanna pull up on me, boy, I'm just strapping.
Alright, what's up, chat? Actually, let's find a different playlist here. Get some electro swing in the background. Just as long as it's not louder than me. Around that volume. Alright, so welcome to my refined Shaman Tank guide. I've been uninformed, not misinformed, I've just been uninformed and theorizing wrong, so let's start off real quick. I was super wrong for all my guides. I'm gonna send you guys the correct way, okay? I've been doing you guys all dirty with the other guides. So let's get things straight here, okay? Let's go with our stat priority before I even go into anything else. The stat priority is to have crit immunity. And that's not 100% crit immunity. You just need 5.6% because raid bosses actually do more. Well, they only do 5.6%, and then in dungeons it's 5.4%. So most people were like, well, yeah, shamans can't get defense cap to get that, right? But resilience has the crit reduction right there in it. So I'm kind of building towards it. I'm not quite there yet. I have 3.32% from resilience, plus defense 1.12. What's that? 4.44. So I have 4.44%. So that means I need about 1.16% more crit immunity from more resilience gear, or more defense gear. But basically, how this resilience comes from PvP gear, right? So you're gonna be doing PvP, and this felt really bad for me because I was like, oh fuck, man, I had like a friggin' what was this helmet right here? I had Mulgar's war helmet. I'm like, I have to replace this with a fucking blue honor piece of gear. And same here. I mean, it wasn't that bad actually, because I think I had like spell power. Yeah, I had like spell power gear. It was like a healing piece, so I replaced that with that. But the thing about PvP pieces, like, they don't have as much armor as like a typical piece of raid gear you'd get from Kara or Mag or Gruul's. They have gem slots, and they have significantly way more stamina than the average raiding piece of gear. So I think you guys are knowing, like, you guys got a good idea of where this is going now, right? So basically, once you get crit immune, it's stamina. If you noticed my gems, like, I have the meta gem for 18 stamina. I only took that because I saw the 18 stamina. I don't really give a shit about the stun resistance. I just want to keep on stacking stamina. As you can see, my health is at 11.6k. That's just unbuffed. I don't have any buffs, basically. Where's my cam? Okay, yeah, my camera isn't covering that. Okay, so yeah, I'm probably gonna go for the PvP belt that comes out next. Well, it's already like on the vendors there for honor. I think it's like 17,000 honor with 30 points Eye of the Storm. I'm gonna probably replace this, the Tremendous belt. That'll get me way more stamina, plus another jump slot to stack more stamina, and it'll give me a bit more armor than this. I think I replaced a spell power belt with this leather belt. It's meant for druids, why it has so much armor on it. But yeah, we're going for about 150, 200, something like that. I forget like how much actually equals 5.6% crit immunity, because then you won't be able to get crit by bosses, meaning you won't be able to get one-shotted by bosses, right? So basically stamina is the next best thing after, or even as you're going towards getting your resilience and defense rating. Well, getting your crit immunity, like stack stamina in the time being, even if you don't have access to gear. Keep on stacking stamina, because I was tanking without fucking defense rating. Sure, I'd get crit every now and then, but I mean, like, I made it work. But it's optimal to not be getting crit at all, right? And I had a way smaller health pool before. Like, I wasn't even 10k yet when I was first tanking shit for raids, for off tanking, I think. So when I get like, what is it, flashed up, and whenever I buy another thick fell steel necklace, I ran out of charges on this one. It'll give me another 200 HP plus the 300 HP from the food buff Spicy Crawdad. That brings me up to 12.1k. Then flasking up, I'm at 12.6k. And then once I get buffed up from King's, Mark of the Wild, and Stamina buff, maybe Warrior Commanding Suit and Warlock M buff, I'm about at 16 to 17k HP, something like that, easily. So, yeah. I'm able to take Hateful Strikes. So, yeah. That is the stat weighting. I don't want to go into the other things. I'm just going to say the top 3 things are crit immunity, so it's not exactly going for defense. Like, resilience is up there, so it's mainly a combination of resilience and defense. If you've got them both, like, that makes it easier. Or mainly just get a bunch of PvP gear. Like, I didn't go for I was aware of this before, but I just didn't bother, because I was like, oh man, I'm looking at the honor prices for things. It's like, oh fuck, that's gonna be a lot of grinding. I already did a lot of grinding to get champion fucking last expansion. I don't know if I want to go at this again, but you need to PvP if you want a Shaman Tank, basically, because they don't got defense rating on all the male gear, right? It's only on the accessories and trinkets, and right. So anyways, my trinkets, I've doubled down on both staminas. I got the time-lapse shard. That's actually like best in slot for Shaman tanking, because it has 27 stamina and 24 resilience. Both of those combined together is like good for survivability and helping you get to your resilience cap. Well, crit immunity cap. You'll be wanting to also, you know, get your health up there. Like, I'm comfortably at 11.6k. I think I'm pretty much good to start actually tanking for real now, without being destroyed by shit with this baseline HP. If I was a Tauren, I believe I'd have about 12k, just like caperfin. But yeah, and that is the stat weighting. Like I said, crit immunity, stamina, armor. Stamina is worth way more than armor, so that's why it's even worth. I downgraded like 200 or whatever, 400 something armor to get more stamina, basically, going into these PvP pieces. And yeah, I even foregone my adamantite figurine to go for double stamina trinkets. Plus resilience rating gives more crit immunity than defense rating than what adamant figurine would do, but the on-use of adamant figurine would probably become handy once I start to be more geared and actually reach the crit immunity to where I could go back to that. But I'm probably going to stick double stamina trinkets for the time being. And yeah, you just gem everything with stamina. By the way, I've got a cloth wrist, but this thing has resilience on it, and it has like monstrous amounts of stamina in terms of like gemming and enchanting and baseline stamina. That is a shit ton, so it outweighs the amount of armor I've lost with my previous it was this one here. I was using this previously for tanking, but like this just outweighs it in terms of the amount of stamina it can pump out. And that's the only thing I would say you could get away with having a cloth piece on as your Shaman Tank. So yeah, I got this from Nightbane, whatever. I've had this for a long ass time. I just changed the enchant from agility to armor, because agility is lower down. We don't care about dodge, parry, block, and all that shit. Agility is like down there too. I used to think dodge and all that shit was really good with defense, but actually no, don't. We want to stack armor after stamina, and from that 120 armor, you get more armor from that than the armor you would get from agility. And yeah, this PvP head and shoulders, get those, because then you get the 2 set bonus for 35 resilience that just boosts you up further. So it's like, I'm like, what did I say, 4.44 or whatever, so I'm like 1.16% chance of being crit from the boss, but it's optimal that I don't have a chance at getting crit at all, right? Alright, so yeah, I think I went over most of my gear, right? Also, legging into Beast Mastery, I've had an update with Caper, like, this might actually, like, go to your Fire Elemental and your Earth Elemental, increasing your pet's attack power by 70, armor by 490, and stamina by 52, but we're unsure. But we're thinking that the totems are classified as pets to actually activate this green bonus from my legs that's generally meant for hunters, right? You'd think. Of course, Ferocious Swift Kickers, got these from Nightbane. Stack some stam gems on there, stam enchant. By the way, how I get the stam enchant on my gloves, shoulder, and gloves, shoulder, and helmet. It's a leather working thing. You can just buy it off the I think it's reinforced armor kit or some shit like that. I forget. And I got this from the auction house, defense rating. It'll help towards the crit immunity, plus 36 stamina, 37 stamina, 392 armor. This is from getting exalted with the Violet Cape from just doing Karazhan all the time. It's the guy that's outside the raid that gives you a ring upgrade every time you get like a higher tier of reputation. Yeah, defense rating as well, not as high, but I mean the defense rating adds up to like 1.1%, so we can add that together here. How I got the 4.44. And time-lapse shard, I saw this before but never thought of buying it. Like when I looked at the on use, it says reduce your threat to the enemy targets within 30 yards, making them less likely to attack you. So I was like, that immediately turned me off. I was like, and I'm not too like bothered about resilience. I'm sure it had stamina, but I was like, I wasn't about stacking stamina back in the day. I think I wanted like actual, I was prioritizing defense over stamina actually, and I had it way backwards. So yeah, Fool's Bane, Azure Shield. That's my gearing, and that's the stat priority. Let's go over the talents, and we're gonna speed run it. You just add dual wield basically. The only difference from my last guide is I said you could go into these, but actually the reason you even take spirit weapons, even though it reduces threat by 30%, that doesn't make up for the amount of threat you're doing with dual wield, which is actually more threat than what you would be doing with one-hander, basically, even with 30% reduced. So actually, when you're off tanking, you're actually dual wielding instead of holding a shield, and you just time your shield swap. Like I have a dual wield macro and a shield macro. Basically, I time it because I believe Hateful Strikes comes in every 6 seconds. So every 5 seconds, you equip your shield back on, right, to take the Hateful Strike, and then you go back to dual wield to keep on going up to high threat. And then once you're like clearly high enough threat to where people aren't catching up to you in melee range, you can just camp the shield and then stop worrying about like swapping between your offhander and your shield basically. And for dual wield, you want to have like your like if you were in Hand Shaman DPS, you want your DPS weapons. Like these both line up, and these are what I use for actual like DPSing when I'm in my full DPS spec. But yeah, and yeah, you take 1 point out of flurry or either mental quickness. It's preference. I've seen caperfin took 1 out of mental quickness to put the 1 point into dual wield rather than flurry, but I'm thinking that the frost shock damage means a lot more whatnot. But yeah, this is a new thing that I've learned, is you gotta swap into your dual wield. If someone pulls off you, you immediately go into dual wield to like start like pulling off them, and you gotta have Wind Fury on both weapons, and you might just keep on frost shocking like you would. Once you got the threat back on, then you can pop the shield back on. but that's for like dungeon tanking or whatnot, I guess. Yeah. And yeah, same ass shit as you would put in the elemental part of the tree. Mainly, you want that 5 out of 5 reverberation for 1 second off, so you get frost shock every 5 seconds, increasing your threat per second, basically. Threat per minute, I don't know. Threat per second makes more sense. And elemental focus, of course. Elemental warding for the 10% reduced damage from all the magical effects. That's what you want. And of course, we're camping 5 out of 5 for concussion. We only put 2 out of 2 in convection just to get further down the tree here, basically. And yeah, that's the talents. Speed ran. And is there anything else that was new info? Oh yeah, on opening pulls, you want to start off dual wield just to get the storm strike, and then go into what you call it, your Azure shield, and then also, well, before even all of that, you want to get all your expensive totems out from every thing. So like, I believe it'd be like magma totem, and then grace of air, and what else? Or no, you'd want wrath of air actually, that costs more. And let's see, pop down like healing stream. I believe healing stream costs more than mana spring totem. And yeah, that was the fire. I think I got everything. So yeah, you drop all those for, and then once you're ready to pull, you would have decapitator, but I don't have it yet. You throw that shit, and then like a lightning bolt, I guess. Or I guess no, I don't know if there's time to lightning bolt. I guess you would equip a weapon that has spell power on it, and then you would frost shock, equip to dual wield, and then storm strike once the boss reaches. Instead of what I have like a different rotation since I don't have decapitator. Like I just lightning bolt, and then if I'm far enough, I'll try and get 2 lightning bolts in, and then I'll frost shock basically, and then I'll equip my dual wield, get a storm strike, go back into a one-hander. Like if I'm pulling something for myself and I want to main tank, like that's the rotation. But also, the rotation as well is a bit different. Every time frost shock is about to come up, you're actually putting down wrath of air totem, so you can get like maximum frost shock damage, get like 1 Ks. And then as soon as that's done, you put down Grace of Air for like 3 seconds or whatnot, just for your Storm Strike and like your window of melee. Then you pop Wrath of Air again before Frost Shock is coming out. Frost Shock, like it's really mana intensive, but it's like the highest threat basically. It's like totem twisting for yourself, but you're not actually twisting. It's like a actual rotation that you have to like think of. This is probably the most advanced rotation in the game, I would think. Probably. But yeah, you'd probably want to definitely be camping water shield throughout most of that. But if DPS are giving you trouble, you might want to hop into lightning shield just to get more threat. Am I missing anything else that is new that I've learned? Oh yeah, of course, if people are giving you trouble, dual wield, like swap right into your dual wield. Then once you've established your threat back, camp the shield. Or yeah, but also if you're going for Gruul's Lair, you're going for Hatefuls, like you're kind of like going back and forth in between these, at least for like the first minute or so, so you can establish that you're way far up in threat with the main tank. Then you can just start camping the shield basically and frost shocking as you would. I think I've almost covered everything new that I've learned to make this the official Shaman Tank guide. Because, yeah, I mean, look at me. I'm like at 11.6k HP. Like, I get buffed up. I go up to like 14, 15k HP if I get like a specialized grouped. And, yeah. Oh, yeah, if you want like a specialized optimal group, you want a warrior for commanding shout. You want a paladin for protection aura. You want a resto druid for tree of life, and you want the warlock for the stamina buff from the imp to get maximum protection maximum survivability and mitigation, having all those classes in your group. And yeah, I believe that is the new standard for shaman tanking, updated, fixing up my mistakes from the last two guides. I believe this is the definitive way how you would play a shaman tank. Now that I actually know the 5.6% crit immunity, like that's a big deal. Like crits are what would kill a shaman, but if you don't get, you're not getting crit, right? You're not dying. Like as long as healers can keep you up and you're stacking that stamina, you have like a big enough HP pool to like take the big hits, dude. I don't know. It's like I think I could definitely for sure easily 100% say I could off tank Gruul nowadays super easily. Knowing the proper mitigation and the proper way of gaining threat, which is implementing dual wield. That's the main change to the whole talent build that I was talking about earlier. The whole reason you want spirit weapons is not for the parry, it's to get down to dual wield so you can have extra threat. And you want a swap macro to get dual wield equipped. Want your shield as well macro to get back to shield. And yeah. That's it. Crit immunity, stamina, armor. Have the dual wields. Go get high threat. And yeah. Remember to do your PvP and get some resilience gear. And that's Mint Ponage, giving you the actual the actual refined guide of Shaman Tank. And I hope you guys do well with it. Peace.